Sora is changing the game in a lot of ways because I've seen some videos already that look crazy.
Yeah.
And if you don't know about Sora or just AI video generation in general, and you see it pop up, like people share the videos on Twitter
Your
or
timeline's probably
excuse me,
looking real
X,
crazy right now.
Instagram, they'll be like, yo, what's going on out here?
What's going on out there?
What's going on out here?
What's going-
What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Autonomous Income. I'm your co-host, Deuce Noble.
And I'm your co-host, DJ. What's going on, Deuce?
Hey, man, we back again with some more cool things to show y'all and a lot more hot topics. But today, of course, we are going to primarily focus on OpenAI. Of course, it's OpenAI again with some new hotness that's out. They have dropped their latest and greatest, their AI-powered browser called Atlas. So we're going to
Yep.
dive into that a little bit, compare it with some of the other AI browsers that are out there. So that's one. But we're also going to talk a little bit about some things that's going on with Walmart and their hiring freeze. We're going to talk about the great producer Timbaland and how his AI artists dropped their first music video. And what else, DJ? You got anything else for us?
Yeah, man. Also, the updates with Sora 2, I know you've seen it. Everybody online has kind of seen it with the Sora watermarks, but they've made some enhancements already to the platform,
Man,
and I'm sure those will continue to roll out. But we'll have a lot of fun playing with that, as you'll probably see throughout this video. Also, maybe intro and just things that we're cooking up in the lab right now for the future. But yeah,
man,
we're,
one
we're
thing
having
I'm
a
gonna
lot of fun
say,
with that.
Sora is changing the game in a lot of ways because I've seen some videos already that look crazy.
Yeah.
And if you don't know about Sora or just AI video generation in general, and you see it pop up, like people share the videos on Twitter
Your
or
timeline's probably
excuse me,
looking real
X,
crazy right now.
Instagram, they'll be like, yo, what's going on out here?
What's going on out there?
What's going on out
What's
here?
going on out here? For real.
But
I mean,
yes,
it
all
looks
right, let's go
wild.
ahead. Let's dive into some unpacking. What you want to go at first, DJ?
Yeah, man. So let's just jump into real quick the Sora 2 updates. We've all seen the platform. We'll link the video that we already kind of covered, Sora 2, and the main things about it. But really, right now, they made some enhancements. So, Deuce, I don't know if you've already played with it, but they've extended it. So now the free users can create videos up to 15 seconds. The pro users, which is what? $199 a month. If you're a pro user, it's like you can create up to 25 seconds. And the 25 seconds, from what I've seen and played around with myself, yeah, it's all right. Like it doesn't really hold the context the whole time. And sometimes it just
Yeah.
starts getting a little bit weird towards that latter part of it. But I mean, you have to go into their storyboard mode to use the 25 seconds. Through the app, it's 10 seconds and 15 seconds. But yeah, you can basically extend up to 15 seconds now as free users, and also just enhance realism, better physics. So like to your point, Deuce, like, it looks real to a lot of people. So if you show it to some people that aren't really hip to like what's going on with Sora, like they may really question, like, man, what is that? Like, I know you've seen it. I mean, there's like dogs driving, there's like, cats
Man,
doing like
I've
all kinds
seen
of just
seen a
everything.
lot of hyper
Everything.
realism, things that, kind of looks crazy. Seen some ones, if we go back to the good, the bad, and the ugly of AI, Sora has
Yeah.
it all, right? They have everything. I've seen everything from a crocodile coming up to someone's door when they were coming out to great videos of, MLK redoing his great I Have a Dream
Yeah.
speech. But then I've seen some remixes of that. It's just so funny to see. But I will say this is really interesting to see people's imagination take off and how the adaptation from their prompts really take
Yeah.
effect in Soar. And, DJ, we've had a lot of fun making some videos, hyper realism or just putting ourselves in different scenarios and seeing us in, I guess you could say, different lights or different worlds, so to speak, or different universes, right? So this is kind of, really interesting to
I
see
mean, it's
how
cool. Deuce, I thought it was gonna.
at
I
the end
mean,
of the day, it
weird
is
because
kind of
like
cool.
you can put yourself in whatever scenario. Like you can be a scientist in this, and like and usually like you see these creators, and it takes some time to go get it set up, and it takes you 2 seconds to kind of just not 2 seconds, but you got to think of it and kind of. You can see some people that are really good with prompting, and they come up with some super creative things, and then like you can put your spin on it. I love the remix feature; is really cool. But have you seen Shaq on there? So Shaq is on Sora now,
So
and
yeah,
boy,
Shaq,
yeah.
every video, so Shaq is hilarious, but it's like every video he puts in, he's like with Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, he's got that thing with Marilyn Monroe. Mark Cuban is on there,
Mark
so he
Cuban,
has
yeah, I follow
yeah.
Mark Cuban. Jake Paul is up there.
Jake
And of
Paul's
course,
up there.
Sam
Yeah.
Sam Altman. I made a few videos with
Yeah.
Sam Altman, to see the GPUs. It's actually really cool just to see how your imagination works. Because anything you can think of or imagine, a quick prompt, and you can make a
Within reason,
video
because you'll
within
get that
reason.
violation. They'll say, "Hey, this might,"
Within reason,
yeah.
of
And like
course.
what we were Deuce and I were just talking about before, also is like the videos we made that first couple weeks. It's definitely not like because Deuce and I got in super early, maybe the day of, day after, like it went.
Yeah,
Like we got in very early, and like it was the
early
Wild West. So it
adopters.
was like SpongeBob. It was like all kind of IP characters was all over the place, and then of course they swung the pendulum the other side, and now is just like you can use the same prompt that you had before, and it could be nothing that would break any violation. But yeah, it's just like, oh, this might violate our thing. So you'll see that a lot on Sora. Also, when y'all get into the platform, people will make content saying, please stop saying that we violated the
You
rules or whatever the
violate
case
the
is. Yeah.
policies, right?
The policy, yeah, because I mean, like, it's hard, but I get that they're trying to level that thing out because for a while it was crazy, like it was really crazy, but it was fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. But like I said, Sora has been a lot of fun. And if any of you guys are out there using it, let us know. If you are, we'll follow you. Let us know what your tagline is or your profile is in Sora. And if you are not on Sora yet and you have an iPhone, comment, subscribe, and like our video about the Sora episode, our first one, and we might have a code for you guys. So we're looking to help expand the platform and also just see what other content creators are doing on there. I've seen a lot of other content creators that I follow on there making pretty interesting videos,
Yeah,
and the topics are very wide to see, say the least. But yeah, early adoption that we have with it has been really, really cool to see. Really, really cool for
it's been
our
fun, man.
podcast.
Yeah,
It's been a
fun.
lot of fun.
You're gonna
A
see a
lot
lot
of
of it.
fun.
We're gonna post a lot of that for sure. We gotta get because it's just hilarious.
I will
And
say, look,
sometimes it has us looking crazy. It has us look. I
yeah,
need that to
look, have
fix
me
that. Yeah,
looking crazy. Look,
have
when
you
I
look real
cameo,
crazy.
have me look crazy. So I got to redo my cameos to make sure, my teeth is right. Because it be giving me
Uh,
teeth from somebody else. And I'm like, that is not me.
and yeah, I had some celebrity teeth, some big old buck teeth, like
Man, I had
on
shit.
one of the
One time
videos.
they gave me a gap. But, it's all cool. Shout out to those who have a gap. But
Some people
they
can
were not
rock it,
my
man.
teeth.
Straight hand, right?
Nothing, and I have
Proudly.
nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it. I'm just saying it's not what I have in my mouth, and they gave me somebody else's teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Sora, you did me wrong, bro, but
You
it's
did
all
me
good.
wrong, man. So
Sora
yeah,
has been
so
fun.
Sora has definitely been fun, but we definitely want to get into. So what's going on with Wally World, man? Deuce, like from your perspective, what's
Man,
going on with this Walmart
listen,
thing, man?
so Walmart CEO has announced a hiring freeze or not necessarily indefinitely, but this freeze can definitely reshape the future with roles for artificial intelligence. And it's very, very interesting because if you think about Walmart and their business model and how they work and what they're working on as far as innovation, it's actually going to probably shape the future for a lot of companies with hiring
Yeah,
freezes right now. Right. I mean, if you look at the landscape of society today, as we put it, the government is shut down. We have a lot of companies still having layoffs. And then, of
yeah,
course, AI is really scaling up in a lot of different industries. So you put that all together for the perfect storm of these hiring freezes and artificial intelligence really taking over. So it's going to be interesting to see how Walmart really shakes up that landscape with their hiring freezes.
yeah. I mean, apparently, what 3 years was stated. I mean, I don't know if it was for all roles or just like I don't know the extent of it, but I mean, I guess the quote was kind of running around on the interwebs and all those things about hiring freeze for 3 years, and then I think the CEO was quoted saying maybe no job survives AI. Reportedly, like by MSN was reporting that, and just other things kind of over the interwebs. Yeah, I mean that does definitely impact day to day. We have a whole shutdown that's going on right now, and it's just a lot of good talent that's out there, on the market. And right now, it's making it hard for people who are seeking new roles because there's just all these individuals are seeking roles at one time. And just a couple of years ago, I don't know if you remember, dudes doing a great resignation. Everybody was hiring. I mean, like you're getting hit up
Yeah,
by all kind of, especially in our kind of sector, right? In tech, like you all kind of recruiters are beating your door down basically to give you an offer. So it's just stark difference
absolutely.
in that.
And I think that the key thing about
Yeah,
this is the focus really is more so on the automation and the AI side, which is pretty cool because they're trying to focus on some innovation and how to streamline some of their processes, customer service, and
Yeah.
a lot of different things, which makes sense. But obviously, a lot of jobs and job security is at stake when you do that, right? Because, yeah, you can get rid of a few roles. And I know we talked about this a little while ago, the different roles that are could be in jeopardy based on
Yeah.
how the wave of automation is going and AI is kind of taking place in some of those areas. So a lot of supply chain logistics, which obviously Walmart handles, is going to be affected, or I wouldn't say affected, impacted, so to speak.
Impacted, yeah, yeah. We'll keep you guys posted on that, and of course, other companies as they come out the woodwork and kind of position themselves for the future. There was, of course, as everybody knows, there was just a lot of overhiring, I guess, at 2020 and after 20, I guess really like 2022 and 2023 maybe, and then that slowed down and all of the things. But we'll keep you posted from our perspective on what that can mean. If you're still doing, where you have one foot in your entrepreneurial dreams and then one foot in the corporate world, or just trying to balance those worlds together. But yeah, dude. So what
All
about
right.
Timbaland? I know you mentioned him earlier.
Timbaland,
So
Big
yeah,
Tim, Timmy Tim. So, of course, Timbaland, we've talked about it a little while ago, DJ. He signed his first AI artist.
yep,
I think her name is Tata Takumi,
yep,
spelling or
Tata, yeah,
pronunciation, right? So she released her first music video, full music video of her first song. And of course, I don't know if anyone has seen it. Hopefully we'll put a link to it, down below so you guys check it out, but a lot of mixed reviews. Pretty interesting, so to speak. Timbaland, of course, made a appearance in the music video.
in the
He's in the
video,
music
yep,
video dancing
yeah.
around and everything. But it's very
Classic
interesting because
Timber,
it's literally on the edge of innovation and also being like what's going on in the music industry right now, right?
Deuce, man.
Because
Well, how do you think music artists, when they first saw it, how do you think a music artist felt? And then producers, I would love. So, any producers that are in the comments, leave your comments. Here's who I want to interview. Producers, do you feel like it's easy to work with AI? Like, because you hear, Deuce, at least we hear from one side of the fence, sometimes it's just like, oh, yeah, artists might be hard to work with, or all these things. And but then from the artist standpoint, does it take away from like what they feel from their side? Like, it's just so interesting to me the paradigm. I'm with it
so
from the tech perspective because it's cool and it's new and unique. I didn't really love like the song that much. I'm sure Timbaland.
so
That's one of my favorite
my whole
producers. I'm
thing
sure I'm
about it
gonna
is
like some of the songs going up. But yeah, go ahead, man.
my perspective and how I look at it is the business side. Like, okay, the back end piece, like who is in charge of getting the royalties for this song? Like, I know this artist obviously is an AI artist, it's not real,
It's probably
but are
all the
we?
producer, right?
So, yeah, is it all the producer or is it who is in charge of running the AI or prompting the AI, so to speak?
Mm,
It's a agentic artist, you could say, and obviously, like, we talked about Timberland signing her. So there's a signing that money's going somewhere, right? So I want to know how does that work? Let's say, okay, for example, DJ, me and you, we come up with this software, this platform, and it's an agentic AI personality that is able to create music themselves,
yeah.
right? We be responsible for, I guess you could say, her handler, so to speak. I don't know how you would verb that, but that's where it gets like to me, the waters get a little weird, right?
So okay, so hold up. So if that's true, but there's that other one that what was that? Xenia Monet? Do you remember her?
Uh-huh.
So she was created by I think and forget my name, Talisha Nikki Jones, right? So lady from Mississippi created the Xenia Monet, who is an AI artist also, right? But I
Uh-huh.
think in this case though, Talisha Nikki Jones is Nikki. She's basically she's doing like all the things and like she's writing organically the music and everything, and just using the AI to be like the persona, right?
Oh,
In
right, right,
Timberland's
right,
case,
right.
right? Like, and maybe he's writing it, but I'm sure he's got a whole list of writers on the team or whatever the case is. It's just different because that approach, I wonder if that's going to be more accepted in the music industry. Is just like you have somebody like a you and a me, we create an artist and we do all the things for them when it comes to writing, like from what we want to write, but just use them as a
Of
persona
course.
versus like what do they call maybe an industry, not an industry plant, but like like just something that's. I mean, Timbaland is a producer. It's very mixed for me because he's one of my
Yeah.
favorite producers. But the industry, like it just, I don't even know how to take like these artists coming up. Like this just seems like so out there.
I will say, rightfully so, there's a lot of mixed reviews. But also, at the end of the day, if you look at it from this perspective, Timberland is out there again in the headlines, in the news
He
wise.
is.
No matter what, there's eyes looking at it, whether good or bad. Yeah, he's doing something that's different. It's innovative, and he kind of takes the cake, right? Which is, I love that aspect of it because, hey, you're doing something to get noticed right now, and
Yeah.
it's it's pushing the envelope on what people are willing to do, no matter how weird you might think it is or how great you might think it is. It's still different, but also, like you said, I'm interested to see what other producers or even music artists how they feel about it, right? Because
Yeah, man. I really
at
want
the
to
end
hear
of the
that
day,
feedback. Yeah.
you're taking money a real person's mouth at the end of
Potentially,
the
like you mentioned though, like maybe not, because like it makes so. What if Timberland with his
is
Tata with
Tata
Tata?
Tech
So what
Tech
if he grabs Chris Brown and Chris Brown writes, you know what I mean, for Tata, and they do a collaboration or something like that, and Chris Brown will still get his royalties and Tata like via Timbo or his team or whatever. Still, you know what I mean? Like maybe they don't mind like if it's collaborative and you know what I
right.
mean? Like potentially, I don't even know how that would work, but
But to your point, I want to know, did they just green screen him into the video? Because he was definitely
Sora,
all up
maybe
in the
they Sora
video,
the Sora
dancing. You
cameo.
know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
he is. Yeah,
Look,
you know.
what they say, if you want your producers all up in the video, dancing, everything, you know what I'm saying? He definitely
Yeah,
pulled out his
man.
best trick. I
He
was like, oh,
definitely,
hey, look
man.
at him. But
But
if you
we
have
used
not,
to see Timberland videos because remember him and
he
Genuine, him and
was,
Justin
and
Timberlake. I
Missy
mean,
Elliott videos,
Missy,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
And we don't
But he
mind Timberland
was.
being in the video. Yeah, yeah,
I will say if you guys have not seen the video, please go check it out. Like I said, we will
yeah.
tag it below. Very, very interesting to see. I will say that. And it's not bad. The song choice, I mean, if
I
you
mean,
like that
yeah,
type of
I'm
music,
sure there'll be a better one. It was all right, but last thing I would say is music producers historically have always been techies also. So give Timbaland some grace and maybe give Timbaland because of the fact that they do like to explore tech because you think Beats by Jay Black, he used to be in IT. That's the one who DJs for the Atlanta Hawks now. He's a big producer on the social media. You'll see him all around. You'll notice Will I Am, Pharrell, like all of them are like
yeah.
tech guys, like they love technology. Most DJs like that come from there usually like have some kind of tech background, and like that's probably why he's leaning into this. And like it's not for everybody, but I just want to throw that out there because it usually goes hand in hand, especially for me, being a DJ like we do. Do something. That's why we're in the tech industry, right? Like it's just kind of like some of that stuff goes hand in hand. So
Yeah,
I'll throw that
absolutely.
out there.
No, you're right about that. I agree. What we got coming up next, DJ?
So
What's
Atlas,
next on
we
the
got to talk
next on the
about
docket?
like Chat GPT Atlas. So not last but not least, but so of course, OpenAI, they've been just on a tear lately, with
OpenAI
Sora,
again?
OpenAI again. This was the sandwich, right? So we started with OpenAI. We're going to end with OpenAI. But yeah, so just talking about Atlas, I'm sure you guys have heard by now, but earlier this week they announced ChatGPT Atlas, and essentially that is their own web browser. And just the capabilities, all the things, it looks very familiar to Chrome. So like it has that look and feel with Chrome, probably based off the Chromium platform. But yeah, what it enables you to do is essentially you can chat. This is more native chat as you're searching. It keeps the context of what you're looking for. And what I really like, Deuce, was their agent mode. Like I said before, just you're able to, when you're logged in and authenticated, then you're going to be able to just have it do your shopping for you on Amazon, Walmart, wherever you're signed into. Unlike the agent mode now, you have to take over, put in your credentials, and it's a little bit kludgy. It still works because you can take over and jump into the experience. But now, just if you use their native browser itself, it can really crawl and do a lot of things for you on the web. What's your take on it? What do you like about it?
So I'll say this. Let me go ahead and just kind of open up with what Atlas is going to do in B. So of course, it's first going to roll out on Mac OS. So
Yep.
if you have a MacBook, that's where it's going to first roll out on. And then they're going to have support for Windows and iOS and Android soon to follow. Now, with that said, very, very interesting. Obviously, a smaller community is going to be using that. I would say the
Yep.
majority of, I don't know the numbers on this, but I would say the majority of folks probably use anywhere between Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and or Safari or Firefox or another, right? That's probably the top 3 or 4 browsers. So it'd be really interesting to see how this browser can come and shape the market. Now, because there's other AI browsers already out and launching, Perplexity has Comet and the browser company is Dia. So there's a few other AI powered browsers on the way. Google and Microsoft have already added some AI powered features to their products as well. So Chrome has added some AI features in Edge as well. So I do think Atlas has some pretty interesting features, especially like you said with the agentic piece and having it, do a lot of different tasks for you while you are browsing. I think that it will change how you browse the internet in general, just the same way that Google Chrome did, put in their search bar for everything, right? I
Yeah.
think that was just a very interesting way to change because I don't know if you remember, I know we're a little bit old school in the tech game. We can still remember before Google Chrome was around, right? And,
Hey,
you
don't age
know,
me like that now.
I mean, I'm just saying, well, before Google Chrome was, a thing, was a browser. I was like, man, I remember when Google Chrome came out. I said, man, I ain't using this thing. Now look at us. But I think this is going to take some time to kind of scale up. But ultimately, honestly, my whole 2 cents on the thing, I think over time it'll be kind of dissolved into a Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, maybe.
Yeah.
There might be a partnership deal coming up somewhere, but seeing as it's rolling out on Mac OS, I think that might be an opportunity for Apple to jump into the bandwagon, throw their hat in the ring because we
Mm.
know Apple has not been doing the best in AI realm,
The
but as
AI
far,
realm.
what I'm saying, as far as this could get dissolved into Safari, you know what I mean? That's my 2 cents, and of course you heard it here first. That's my take on it.
Mm, we'll see. I mean, it's definitely interesting. And we'll definitely keep tabs on it. I'm excited to, try it out to use it, but it is a lot for people to migrate from the main browser because one, you may already be logged into all your platforms. You've just been using it for so
Yeah,
long. And it's like Google, also a lot of people, I think the key thing that Google has is a lot of people have Gmail, so they're probably going to their, I mean, granted, you can sign into all of that with different browsers, but there's just something about once you authenticate into the platform, everything's already
yeah.
there for you, enabled in it. So I think that's something that people
But
have to make that choice on.
of course, there's browsers come a dime a dozen. Take that with a grain of salt. I mean, there's DuckDuckGo, Firefox is still out there,
Yeah,
and of course, Edge. Plenty of browsers out there. I think is it Dolphin or something. There's a lot, right? For mobile and for I guess laptop and web desktop. Versions of computers.
yeah,
However, that doesn't. I take that with a grain of salt because look, you got to think. How many AI agents are there out now? I think that, like I said, OpenAI is stepping out. Faith and prayer because this is a market now that is okay. You're really about to stomp with the big dogs for real,
yeah.
right? Like I said, I think every Microsoft computer obviously comes preloaded with Edge, right? Every Mac OS comes preloaded with Safari. That is the thing, right? Of course, Chrome is probably the most downloaded browser out there. And don't quote
And
me
yeah,
on this.
they have
I
the
don't
market
have the
share. I mean,
actual
yeah,
numbers. That lion's share of the most downloaded browser, I want to think if you go to chrome.com, that might be up there, right?
yeah.
And who knows, Firefox might be a close second. But Atlas is definitely going to come with some punches, and I think it's going to be cool to see. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting how they can keep up because I mean, you got to think browsers not only are just, oh, I'm searching for things on it. It's a lot of security. It's a
Via
lot of having
Gemini,
that.
I just looked it up on the fly. It looks like Chrome's at 67% of approximately 67% of the total market share.
Okay.
Safari's at 18%, Microsoft Edge 5%, Firefox 3%, Samsung Internet, probably because they have so many phones, 2.6, and Opera's at 2.4.
But
So,
you know what's so interesting? You said
and that's
Microsoft Edge is
global.
at Microsoft Edge is at 5.
Yeah.
Can you imagine was like before Microsoft Edge? It wasn't even
Oh,
Edge. It was
when
Internet Explorer. Internet
Internet
Explorer.
Explorer, yeah. I mean, yeah, because they were the Google before
And
Google,
before
right? They
that,
were the
it
one
was what?
everybody had.
Netscape, right? Netscape.
Yeah,
Now I'm
Netscape.
really aging
And
us.
now
I'm really aging us.
I know I'm gonna start making up some stuff. Like I've heard about this thing called AOL.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a market that's like heavily saturated on Google as far as a browser. Because you got to think,
Yeah,
DuckDuckGo is out there. Their big claim is, real privacy and security, right?
yeah,
As far as Google Chrome, of course, they may share some of your data here and there because it's Google, but everything is tied in. Like you said, everyone has a Gmail. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That it makes it a lot easier just to kind of stay streamlined with your account. So yeah,
But
and I
we'll
know a
see.
lot of
We'll see how that unfolds
schools
for sure.
and yeah, but I think it'd be
Yeah, yeah.
interesting to
With the
see.
student accounts too. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
But like I said, that's why I think, look, they may dissolve into Safari or something. And I think that might be in their best interest to partner with someone like Apple Safari or Microsoft Edge to kind of take back some of that real estate.
Well, here's the thing. This I'm gonna leave us with this right here so we can wrap up. But with the interesting fact, and I think what was pointed out somewhere on the interwebs, I saw it. Can't remember who it is to credit to, but it's not mine. But my thing is just like so they partner with Microsoft. They have all this investment from Microsoft. You would think that they would launch on Windows first and
Right.
not launch on Apple. So it's just interesting that they choose to launch on the for whatever reason they're
And
launching on
the
Apple
thing, it's not
first
even just Apple,
versus launching
it's
on
Mac
Windows.
OS, right? It's not
Yeah,
even
Mac. Yeah,
Apple.
that's what I'm
I mean, well,
saying.
of course, it's Apple, but on Mac
Mm,
OS, which I think
yeah.
is very interesting because, and I know this is a fact. The most users use internet browsers on their phone first now. Like
Hmm.
we're in that era where everything is mobile first. So
Yeah.
I think it's a soft launch to go Mac OS first, which will be
Yep.
interesting. I may, when it comes out, I'm gonna download it on mine.
Yeah, yeah. You have a Mac, man. Definitely check that out. I'd be interested to see. But definitely, if you guys, once you get access to it, let us know in the comments what you guys think about the browser in general. And of course, as it migrates over to Windows or Windows users, like once you're able to use it, if that's something that you're looking into. But a lot of capabilities on there. Love the agent mode. And, they showed off a lot of different modes. We'll link that video down below so you guys can take a look at all the things that they announced.
Absolutely. And as
Yeah.
always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let us know if you guys are going to check out Sora. If you already have, if you want to, leave us a comment. We have some invite codes still
Yep.
available, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.
Peace.